The resurgence of Korean horror cinema has never been this terrifying. Not because of the ghosts lurking beneath the water, nor the chilling imagery inside Salmokji, whispering water, but because this film is forcing the entire Korean film industry to confront a truth it seemingly forgot. Sometimes, the scariest thing is not the monster inside the movie, but the fact that a small film can completely overturn the logic of modern blockbuster filmmaking. After 23 years, Korean horror has finally found a new box office monster. And at the center of this phenomenon is Kim Hye Yoon. Salmokji is not just a horror film, it is the revenge of underrated cinema. According to the Korean Film Council, Salmokji, Whispering Water officially surpassed 3 million admissions only 32 days after its release. A number that may seem ordinary for major commercial blockbusters, but for Korean horror cinema, it carries enormous significance. The last Korean horror film to achieve a similar milestone was A Tale of Two Sisters back in 2003. For more than 2 decades, Korean cinema evolved dramatically, producing global sensations like Parasite, Train to Busan, and Exhuma, yet pure Korean horror never truly found a worthy successor capable of dominating the mainstream audience. Until Salmokji arrived. What makes this achievement even more remarkable is that the film does not follow the usual formula of contemporary commercial cinema. No massive blockbuster budget. No overwhelming CGI spectacle. No top-tier superstar lineup controlling the media narrative. No billion-won franchise machinery. The film only has a lake, a handful of characters, an oppressive atmosphere, and a fear that slowly crawls into the audience's mind. Yet that minimalism became its deadliest weapon. When fear is no longer about jump scares. Salmokji follows a film crew returning to the Salmokji Reservoir in Yeson after discovering a mysterious entity hidden inside old footage. At first glance, the premise resembles classic found-footage horror, leading many viewers to compare it with Gonjiam, Haunted Asylum. However, the real difference lies in how Salmokji constructs fear. The film does not rely on loud noises or endless gore to terrify viewers. Instead, director Lee Sang-min transforms water itself into a psychological entity. The audience is not afraid of what appears. They are afraid of what has not appeared yet. The prolonged silence, the unnaturally calm lake surface, the unanswered gaps in the narrative, all of it traps viewers inside a constant state of unease. Salmokji fully understands one of horror cinema's oldest principles: what humans imagine is always scarier than what they actually see. And that is precisely why the movie exploded through word of mouth. Audiences did not leave the theater feeling entertained and done. They carried the fear home with them. Kim Hye Yoon's most transformative performance. If Salmokji is a cinematic phenomenon, then Kim Hye Yoon is the soul of that phenomenon. For years, the actress was mostly associated with youthful, energetic roles in romance and coming-of-age dramas. She was always recognized for her strong acting skills and emotional range, but she was often confined within cute or bright character archetypes. Salmokji completely destroys that image. In this film, Kim Hye Yoon barely acts through dialogue. She acts through her eyes, her breathing, and the suffocating panic hidden beneath restraint. Her character is not the traditional final girl commonly seen in horror films. Instead, she feels like a human being slowly crushed by invisible anxiety. The most frightening aspect of Kim Hye Yoon's performance is its realism. The audience genuinely believes she is terrified. That is why director Lee Sang-min praised the 2 lead actors, saying their acting and charisma turned the unexplained spaces into the film's greatest strength. In horror cinema, this is crucial. If the actors fail to carry emotional weight, silence becomes boredom. But if they succeed, silence itself transforms into unbearable psychological pressure. Kim Hye Yoon achieved exactly that. And perhaps for the first time in her career, she is no longer simply a promising actress. She has become a genuine box office force. The 3 billion won film that is shaking the Korean film industry. Another shocking detail lies in the film's production budget. Salmokji was reportedly made with only 3 billion won, an extremely small figure compared to the current standards of Korean commercial cinema. At a time when many productions spend tens or even hundreds of billions of won on CGI, marketing campaigns, and star-studded casts, Salmokji feels like a direct challenge to the blockbuster mentality dominating the industry. It raises an uncomfortable question. Do audiences still truly need spectacle? Or are they starving for raw emotion instead? What makes the film's success even more impressive is that it was driven almost entirely by word of mouth. Not massive marketing campaigns. Not idle fandoms. Not pre-release international hype. The audience brought more audience members into theaters. That is the kind of success every producer dreams about, yet very few films ever achieve. Salmokji could open a new golden age for Korean horror. The film's success is already creating a domino effect across the Korean horror industry. Upcoming horror projects are receiving greater attention, especially Idiot Girls and School Ghost, School Anniversary directed by Kim Hye Yoon. The movie follows Eun Jae-young, played by Han Sun-hwa, a trainee teacher returning to her former school to investigate dark magic club legends and terrifying supernatural phenomena. The fact that the film reportedly sold out screenings at the Busan International Fantastic Film Festival signals a renewed appetite for domestic horror cinema. But perhaps the greatest impact Salmokji leaves behind is not its revenue. It is hope. Hope that Korean horror films can still make audiences obsessed. Hope that small films can still defeat giant blockbuster machines. And hope that cinema, after everything, still belongs to stories capable of haunting human beings. Just like the lake in Salmokji. The calmer it becomes, the more terrifying it feels.